You can have a valid passport, an approved visa, a return ticket, and still be denied entry at the airport. Why? Because a visa allows you to request entry. It does not guarantee that immigration officers will admit you. And sometimes one vague answer, one contradiction, or one poorly chosen phrase can turn a routine interview into secondary inspection. In this video, you'll learn 10 questions immigration officers commonly ask, the answers that may create suspicion, and how to respond clearly and truthfully. Stay until question number 10 because it concerns your travel history, and officers may already know the answer before they ask. Let's begin. What is the purpose of your trip? This sounds simple, but it is one of the most important questions. The officer wants to determine whether your actual plans match the type of visa or travel authorization you are using. A weak answer would be, "I'm not really sure, I'll see what happens." Or, "I'm visiting, but I might also find some work." If you are entering as a tourist, mentioning unauthorized employment can create a serious problem. A better answer is short, specific, and truthful. "I'm visiting New York for tourism. I plan to see Manhattan, visit a few museums, and return home on June 28th. If you are attending a legitimate business event, explain it accurately. "I'm attending a 3-day industry conference in Chicago. I will not be employed or paid in the United States." Do not invent an itinerary. Your reservations, messages, and luggage should remain consistent with what you say. How long will you stay? Avoid answers such as, "I don't know," "as long as possible," or "maybe a few weeks, maybe several months." Uncertainty may make the officer question whether you intend to follow the conditions of your visit. Give a clear answer. "I'll be staying for 12 days from June 18th until June 30th. Know the date of your return flight and make sure it agrees with your itinerary. Also remember, the expiration date printed on a visa is not necessarily the amount of time you are allowed to remain inside the country. Your authorized stay is determined when you are admitted. Where will you be staying? This is not the moment to begin searching through 20 screenshots while the line grows behind you. You should know the name of your hotel or host, the complete address, the city and state, how long you will stay there, a contact telephone number. A suspicious answer might sound like, "somewhere near Los Angeles. My friend arranged everything." A clearer answer would be, "I'll be staying at the Central Hotel in downtown Los Angeles for 7 nights. I have the reservation and address available." If you are staying with someone, explain your relationship truthfully. "I'm staying with my cousin, Maria Lopez, at her home in Miami." Do not claim that someone is a distant friend if your phone, previous applications, or travel records suggest a completely different relationship. Do you have a return or onward ticket? A return ticket helps demonstrate that your trip has a planned ending, although it does not guarantee admission. A problematic response would be, "No, because I might decide to stay." A better response, "Yes. My return flight is on June 30th from Miami to Madrid. Here is the confirmation." Keep the booking available offline. Airport Wi-Fi has a mysterious talent for disappearing precisely when you need it most. If your itinerary is flexible, explain it honestly. Never present a fake reservation or altered document. A questionable itinerary can cause far more trouble than simply explaining your genuine plans. Officers may want to know whether you can reasonably support yourself during your stay. You may answer, "I'm paying for the trip with my savings and credit card." Or, "My parents are paying for my hotel and flights. I'm carrying their support letter and the reservation confirmations." The amount of money you need depends on the destination, duration, and circumstances of the trip. There is no magical sentence or universal balance that guarantees admission. Be prepared to explain how your flights, accommodation, food, and transportation will be covered. And if you're carrying more than $10,000 or the equivalent in combined monetary instruments, you must declare it. Carrying that amount is not automatically illegal. Failing to report it can create serious consequences. What do you do for work? This question helps establish your situation at home and whether your travel plans make sense. Avoid giving an answer that conflicts with your application. For example, if your visa application says you are employed as an accountant, but you now say you left that job 6 months ago, the officer may ask additional questions. A clear answer might be, I'm a graphic designer at a marketing company in Barcelona. I've worked there for 3 years, and I returned to work on July 2nd. If you are self-employed, I own a small online retail business in Spain. My team will manage daily operations while I'm away. If you are unemployed, retired, or a student, tell the truth. Unemployment does not automatically mean denial, but dishonesty can damage your credibility. Do you plan to work during this visit? This question can become decisive. If you are entering as a tourist, never casually say, I might help my friend in his restaurant. I'll do some jobs for cash. Or, I'm going to meet employers and start working if I find something. Even unpaid activity may create questions depending on what you plan to do and your immigration status. If your genuine purpose is tourism, answer clearly. No, I'm visiting only for tourism and will return home after my vacation. If you're entering for an activity permitted by your visa, describe that activity accurately. Do not call employment helping a friend in an attempt to make it sound harmless. The officer is evaluating what you will actually do, not the label you place on it. Who are you visiting? Know the person's full name, address, immigration or residency status, if relevant, relationship to you, general occupation. A weak answer would be, I only know his username. We met online and he told me to come. That does not automatically mean you will be denied, but it will probably generate more questions. A better answer, I'm visiting my sister Laura Martinez. She lives in Orlando, and I'll stay with her for 10 days. Your host should also know that you are coming. Imagine the officer calls and your host says, Who? That is not exactly the airport welcome party you wanted. Never memorize a fabricated story. Officers can ask the same question in different ways to check whether your account remains consistent. Are you bringing food, plants, medicine, or other restricted items? This is where many travelers make an unnecessary mistake. They think, it's only homemade food. It's just fruit. It's only a small package. But customs declarations cover agricultural products, food, plants, animal products, merchandise, and other regulated items. If you are uncertain, declare the item and allow the officer to decide. A safe response is, Yes, I have packaged food and prescription medicine. I would like to declare them. Declaring an item does not automatically mean it will be confiscated. Hiding it or answering falsely can create penalties and delays. Keep prescription medication in its original packaging whenever possible and check the destination's rules before traveling. Have you visited before, overstayed, or had immigration problems? This may be the most dangerous question to answer dishonestly. Immigration authorities may already have access to arrival, departure, and previous application records. Do not guess, minimize, or change your history. If you previously remained longer than authorized, were refused entry, had a visa cancelled, or encountered another immigration issue, consider obtaining qualified legal advice before traveling. A false answer can become a separate problem from the original event. If your travel history is normal, answer directly. Yes, I visited in 2024 for 8 days and departed before my authorized stay ended. Or, no, this is my first visit. The safest answer is always the truthful one. Final checklist before flying. Before approaching immigration, make sure you can quickly access your valid passport, your visa or travel authorization when required, your return or onward ticket, your accommodation details, your host's contact information, evidence showing how the trip will be funded, documents supporting the genuine purpose of your visit, any declarations required for food, currency, or merchandise. Most importantly, make sure every detail tells the same truthful story. Your application, itinerary, luggage, reservations, and answers should not contradict one another.